Hope you enjoy listening. I just found out I was pregnant and my husband insisted on bringing his best friend's wife to live in the barracks, leaving his old mother behind for me to take care of. He said that I was a nurse and had just quit my job to stay home and take care of my mother-in-law. After giving birth, he would pick me up and take me to the unit. However, from the second month onwards, he did not send any living expenses. I just thought that he was working hard at the unit trying to save for our future, so even when he was so hungry that there was nothing left to eat, he never complained. 4 years have passed, I just sold my kidney, and when I returned home from Voivang City, my neighbor reported the news. My mother-in-law was so hungry that she had to go up the mountain to pick wild vegetables, but unexpectedly she was bitten to death by a wild boar. As for my son, he also died because he had no money to buy special medicine. My husband came back to take care of the funeral, but he did not sympathize with my pain. On the contrary, he scolded me for being useless, saying that I was the one who killed his mother and son, and then insisted on a divorce. After that, he turned around and registered his marriage with that woman. She took over all his allowance, lived in a small villa, ate white rice and pork, and lived happily. As for me, I died on the night they gave birth to a chubby son. When I opened my eyes, I had returned to 3 days before my mother-in-law and son died tragically. This time, I did not go to the city to sell my kidney, but brought my mother-in-law and son with me, determined to reclaim everything that originally belonged to us. Mom, I have to go find the army. Only the army has the special medicine, only he can save Din Dang. The mother-in-law was so hungry that her eyes were sunken, looking at the empty house, tears streaming down her face. "Okay, I'll listen to you." I took the military water bottle and the last wooden chair that the military commander left behind, went to the market and exchanged it for 5 kilos of sweet potatoes and 1 kilo of corn flour. When I got home, I cooked a pot of thin porridge, which was the most filling meal we had since the food shortage. After eating, I took the cart and took my mother-in-law and son to find the military headquarters. While walking, I asked for the location of Unit 974's base. I didn't expect it to be only about 50 miles away from home. It was much closer than going to the city. Yet all these years he never once came to visit us. When he learned that we wanted to find Trin Kien Kwan, the gatekeeper gave me a pen and asked me to fill in the registration book. Just as I was about to write husband and wife in the relationship section, Trin Kien Kwan appeared at the door. His facial features were clear, much more handsome and educated than before. His eyes swept over us in a miserable state, his expression changing from surprise to confusion. "Tanchi, why are you here?" He pulled us to a corner, then lowered his voice and called out, "Mom, is this my son?" I held back my tears and nodded vigorously. "Dindang, call me Dad." My son's face was red and weak because of his illness. But the first time he met his father, his eyes still shone with joy, and he stretched out his 2 tiny hands towards Chang Jianjun. "Dad," before he could even utter the second word Dad, Chang Jianjun immediately covered his son's mouth and said with a serious face, "Don't call me Dad here, understand?" He was scared, his lips trembled, and he pulled his head into my chest, not daring to look up. Mother-in-law raised her head to look at Trin Kien Kwan, her face full of confusion and panic. I bit my lip, clenched my fist, my heart felt like it was being stabbed. "Trin Kien Kwan, Dindang is seriously ill. I don't have money to buy medicine, please save him." The military judge executed the man. "What? I didn't have money to buy medicine, didn't I give it to you?" At this moment, an old-fashioned military vehicle drove up. Trin Kien Kwan immediately stood at attention and raised his hand in a military salute. "Salute to the chief." The car window rolled down, revealing the old but kind face of an elderly leader. "Shaoxian, these people are." Chang Jianjun hesitated for a moment, then loudly reported. "Reporting to the chief, this is." The maid and her family came to stay for a few days. The chief smiled and told him to treat them well, then the car continued to roll away. Trin Kien Kwan secretly breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly took us to the gate. A hint of pity flashed through his eyes, but his voice did not carry a trace of pity. "Tan Chi, you are really foolish. Why did you bring mother and child here without giving any notice? I am in the review stage now, about to be promoted to the regimental commander. Don't make a big deal out of everything." The mother-in-law tapped the military officer's leg with her stick, tears streaming down her face uncontrollably. Son, no matter how high your position is, you are still Tanchi's husband. He has worked hard for mother and son for the past few years, but you have not even bothered to come home once. How can you say he is a maid, and not let Dindang call you father? Knowing that he had gone too far, his tone softened. Mom, it wasn't easy for me to climb to this position these past few years. It's all for the sake of this family. I don't want to argue with him anymore. I just hope he quickly finds a way to save Dindang. We arrived at the military compound. He knocked on the door, his voice carrying obvious joy. Tuesday na, open the door, I'm back. Here, the sound of light footsteps echoed, accompanied by a clear laughter like silver worms. The door just opened when Tuesday na saw me. Her face immediately darkened. Tuesday na wore a delicately tailored floral dress, carefully made up, her hair neatly spread, and a light fragrance lingering on her body. As for me, I wore only an old faded shirt patched together. My face was covered in brown spots from years of hard work, sun, rain, wind, and oil. Su Huina pretended to be surprised, her voice unable to hide her disgust. Jianjun, this is Tanchi. I looked at Chang Jianjun, my voice cold. Why is she living with you? Someone was walking towards me from afar. Chang Jianjun looked confused and quickly pushed us into the room. Tuesday na immediately explained. Tanchi, don't misunderstand. Although the aunt and I live in the same house, there is nothing between us. He just pitied my mother who had become an orphan like me and had no one to depend on, so he let her stay with him, to have someone to take care of her. Mother had become an orphan? At that moment, a little girl about her age rushed out and hugged the soldier's leg, whining, Dad, why are you home so late? I'm hungry. Today my mother cooked braised pork ribs, they smelled so good. Seeing the obvious change in my mother-in-law and my expression, Trin Qian Quan was flustered and explained, Mom, Tanchi, don't misunderstand. Nu is not his and Tuesday na's biological child. Tuesday na was pregnant when she arrived at the unit. Nu is the child of his fallen comrade. She is still young and doesn't understand things. When she sees someone else has a father, she calls him that. No wonder he didn't let the nail he was calling dad be here. He was already a fake dad for someone else's child. Raising someone else's child to be healthy and fair, with white rice and pork ribs. My son, his own son, could barely get a meal of wild vegetables, was so hungry that he was reduced to a bag of bones, and was about to die of illness. A fire of anger rose in my heart. Seeing me staring at the little girl, Trin Qian Quan instinctively picked her up and shielded her from Tuesday na. Tanchi, if you're angry, take it out on me, not on the child. The scene where he stood up to protect Tuesday na suddenly coincided with the memories of his previous life. In his previous life, he brought Tuesday na home in white mourning clothes, saying he would take her with him to the unit. Tuesday na's newlywed husband had sacrificed himself on a mission to save him. Before he died, he repeatedly told the military to take care of his wife. He said that I was pregnant at the time and it was not suitable for me to travel far, so he asked me to stay and take care of my old and weak mother-in-law. Right in front of me, he swore that when I gave birth, he would come to pick up both mother and child. I believed him. I never expected that life would be changed into a broken home. Mother lost, child died. So miserable that there was no way to live. As for him, he got a beautiful woman. Both love and career went as planned, reaching the peak of life. Now, he would rather hug someone else's child than his own. Okay, it's time to eat. Tuesday na prepares 3 more sets of bowls and chopsticks. On the table was white rice and braised pork ribs, a dish that my son had never eaten since he was born. Just smelling the smell made his mouth water without him realizing it. His mother-in-law couldn't help but drool several times, her eyes glued to the food tray. Su Huina didn't say anything, but her eyes were filled with hatred and contempt. She coldly scooped a bowl of rice for each of us, and scooped another bowl for Chang Jianjun. As for her and the girl, they only held empty bowls of cold water. I was planning to tell the whole family to eat. After finding Chang Jianjun, we spent an entire day without eating or drinking. Our stomachs were growling with hunger. My mother-in-law and I ate quickly, but my son couldn't wait any longer. He threw down his chopsticks and reached out to peel off 2 pieces of ribs and put them in his mouth. Trin Qian Quan raised his eyebrows, his voice full of annoyance. Eat slowly, no one is fighting over us. We are country people, extremely hungry. Eating and drinking at a loss is inevitable. But I taught my child from a young age that when eating, you should only eat from your side and leave some for others. Therefore, all the food on the table we only ate from one side. Suddenly, the little girl used her chopsticks to knock on the empty bowl, crying as she did so. I want to eat rice, I want to eat ribs. I'm hungry. Only then did Trin Kien Kwan realize that Tuesday Na and her mother had nothing in their bowls, and his face immediately turned sour. Why haven't you two eaten yet? Su Tuesday Na's face turned pale, she forced a smile. The food is gone, you go ahead and eat. The girl and I can drink some water. Trin Kien Kwan immediately felt sorry and wanted to share his food with her and her child. But Tuesday Na stopped him. He had worked hard all day, how could he not eat his fill? I'm just a free person, it's okay to skip a meal. Just a girl. She stopped there, forced a smile and started to talk. I took the baby out to the yard to watch an outdoor movie, he won't be fussy anymore. You eat, don't worry about us. My son finished 2 pieces of ribs, also knew how to restrain himself from taking more, looked up at me curiously. Mom, what is this outdoor movie? Din Dang also wants to watch it. Su Hui Na's whole body stiffened, and Trin Kien Kwan's face also became ugly. Su Hui Na turned around and walked out, spraying perfume at the door to clear the girls' noses. Trin Kien Kwan was silent for a long time, looking at me awkwardly. Tan Chi, when do you guys plan to come back? I raised my head, facing his eyes. I decided to stay and not go anywhere. What? Not going anymore? Trin Kien Kwan couldn't contain his surprise and turned his head to glance at the door. Tuesday Na picked up the girl and hurriedly walked out, then slammed the door shut. He instinctively called out, Hu Na. Trin Kien Kwan turned around, his expression not looking very good. Tan Chi, stop messing around. I'm about to get promoted, I can't afford any mistakes now. Take Mom and Din Dang home first, wait for me. I slammed the chopsticks down on the table, interrupting him. Wait, Chung Jianjun, have you fucking forgotten, what did you say? You said you would come pick me up after I gave birth. In the end, for the past 4 years, there hasn't even been a single letter. I thought you died in the army. Trin Kien Kwan also started to get angry. Why are you talking so rudely? You don't have any of the dignity of a learned person anymore. I've been patient enough. 4 years of hardship and suffering cannot be described in just a few harsh words. Trin Kien Kwan, do you know how my mother and I have lived these past 4 years? The first year I was pregnant and still had to take care of the whole family. While pregnant I went to pick weeds, almost dying. The second year there was a crop failure. Nothing was harvested. Every day your mother and I had to go up the mountain to dig wild vegetables to survive. Even when my mother was sick we didn't dare go to the hospital. In the third year my mother's illness became unbearable, and I had to sell blood to pay for the hospital bills. Now my son is sick, and I can't afford the medicine. As soon as we got here you wanted to chase us away. Do you want to drive us to death? With each sentence I said, his face turned paler. How could it be that I had to eat wild vegetables and had no money for medical treatment? Every month you send me money. I looked at him, when did you send it, and to whom? At that moment Tuesday Na carried the girl back, her whole body was soaked, looking weak and pitiful. She forced a smile, it's raining outside, has everyone finished eating yet? Let me wash the dishes. Trin Kien Kwan suddenly remembered something, grabbed her wrist and asked, Tuesday Na, where is the money I told you to send to Tan Chi every month? Why did she say she didn't receive it? Hearing that, tears rolled down my cheeks. Kien Kwan, it was my fault Tan Chi, I was pregnant at the time. I felt heavy and didn't want to go out. I planned to send you a few days later. But at that time you were injured during training and needed to heal your body, so I spent all that money. Then I forgot. It was my fault. I will immediately take the girls and leave, not disturbing your family reunion anymore. The more I listened, the angrier I got. I couldn't stand it anymore. Is it for him or for herself? Did she forget to send the money? Or did she deliberately not want to send it? Tuesday Na know better than anyone. Trin Kien Kwan can't stand it when I speak harshly to me. Tuesday Na. Deep Tan Chi, why can't you speak properly? Do you always have to taunt and attack others like that? If you suffer, then they won't suffer. All these years, Tuesday Na has taken good care of you, it must be easy. I'm so angry that my head is buzzing and my body is shaking. Trin Kien Kwan, you're a bastard. What right does she have to take care of you? I don't believe that you two have lived together for all these years without something shady happening. You raised her and her child to be rosy and fair-skinned, and you still refuse to look at what your biological son and biological mother have become. Look at what they have become. It was all thanks to Tuesday Na. Tuesday Na's eyes filled with tears, and she stumbled backwards. Trin Kian Quan immediately supported her and held her in his arms. But she suddenly pushed him away, her voice soft and cheap. Don't touch me, I have a cold, what if I infect you? I have a cold too, I'll give the child medicine and then leave. Don't argue over me. The more gentle and yielding Tuesday Na was, the more rude and unreasonable I appeared to outsiders. Trin Kian Quan looked at me with eyes full of hatred, then followed her into the room. Soon, the two of them walked out together, Chang Jianjun carrying the family medicine box. When Su Huina opened the lid, I saw the medicine bottle that I had to sell my kidney to buy in my previous life. I immediately grabbed the medicine bottle, my hands shaking with joy, and turned to my mother-in-law. Mom, this is the medicine that can save Dindang's life. But the next second Tuesday Na snatched it back. This cannot be cured. There's a recent outbreak of a virus in children. This medicine is for babies. Each household is only given one bottle. After saying that, she seemed to suddenly realize something. Her face turned red. She lowered her head and stopped talking. I experienced the pain of losing a child in my previous life. So in this life, no matter what, I must save my son. So you know who my real relatives are, right? Then give me the medicine. Su Huina held back her tears and turned to look at Chang Jianjun for help. He raised his eyebrows and passed me. Enough, Tan Chi, it's just one bottle of medicine. I'll ask for another one for you. How long does it take to apply? 3 days at most. But the nail can't wait 3 days. No way. The child is seriously ill and cannot wait any longer. Trin Kian Quan's face darkened like coal. Destroy the tree. You're deliberately confronting me, aren't you? It's only been 3 days and you're not willing to wait. The life-saving medicine is right in front of me. How can I give up? Even if I have to snatch it, I have to get it. Not wanting to see the child anymore, I took advantage of Su Huina's carelessness and snatched the medicine bottle back. I had just opened the cap and was about to pour the medicine into my son's mouth when Chang Jianjun grabbed my arm and pulled me down. He snatched the medicine bottle back, his eyes filled with hatred and anger. Dai Tanqi, do you still have any shame? Don't you think it's a robbery? Do you know that doing so is a violation of discipline? I don't know if it's a violation or not. I only know that if you don't save my child, I will save him myself. Trin Kian Quan was so angry that his face was distorted. Because of jealousy you act like this? I really underestimate you. Dai Tanqi, you disappoint me too much. I ignored everything and rushed in to get the medicine bottle back. My son was scared, hid behind his grandmother and cried. My mother-in-law took a wooden stick and hit Trin Kian Quan's leg. Unfilial son. Your grandchild is seriously ill. Quickly give medicine to Tanqi, but Trin Kian Quan remained unmoved. Mom, even you are following her to cause trouble. Diet Tanqi is just jealous because I treat Tuesday Na and her mother well. Seeing that this medicine is expensive, she said it is a life-saving medicine to take it. She is definitely a robber. Dai Tanqi, if you continue to be stubborn, don't blame me for not showing mercy. I was so angry that I lost all reason and started to torture Trin Kian Quan. Trin Kian Quan, you bastard. Give me the medicine. Do you really want to kill your son? Are you still worthy of being a soldier and protecting your country? Enough. Trin Kian Quan roared loudly. The bottle was thrown straight to the ground, shattering glass shards flying everywhere. Go away. All of you go away. My house does not have a crazy woman like you. I looked at the broken pieces on the floor. My heart ached as if it was being torn apart, not knowing where to find the strength. I rushed to hit Trin Kian Quan. I was really like a crazy woman, screaming and cursing, sweeping away everything in the house. The TV, the radio, anything within my reach was smashed to pieces. I turned their complete warm house into a mess. I was so hot that I alarmed the entire committee and the neighbors. There was a knock on the door from outside. Chang Jianjun was startled and quickly hugged me, who was going crazy. His voice changed to a soft, pleading tone. Qingqi, calm down. Don't let anyone hear. You're in the process of being promoted, you can't let a scandal happen. I'm sorry I was wrong, can we stop making things up? But I ignored him and pushed him away. In his terrified eyes, I resolutely opened the main door. Chapter 2. I suddenly knelt down right in front of the door. Tears fell like rain, my voice hoarse as I shouted, "Please help me get justice." That scream made Trin Kien Kwan panic completely. The people around looked at me in a miserable state, their eyes filled with sympathy and confusion. Everyone looked inside the house curiously. Wasn't this the house of the company commander? What was going on? The company commander had always been known as a model husband, never arguing with his wife. And who was that woman? At this moment, a man walked in front of me, his voice calm and gentle. "Hello, I am the political commissar here. Can you tell us clearly what happened?" I was speechless and my whole body was shaking. "Take it easy, stand up and speak. This is a military zone, absolutely no one will be wronged." My son ran up to me, crying and calling weakly, Mom, we don't need Dad anymore. Din doesn't need Dad anymore. Let's go home, Mom." Everyone was surprised when they heard that. Their eyes became even more suspicious. Trin Kien Kwan quickly walked over, intending to forcefully pull me up, smiling and talking to everyone. "It's nothing, just a housekeeper who came to stay for a few days. Because of different living habits, I reminded her a bit, she's a bit sensitive so she just made it wet. It's nothing, everyone go home, let's go." I also quickly forced a smile, trying to appear gentle and obedient. I still knelt down on the ground, holding my child in my arms, my other hand holding onto the trouser leg of the royal commissioner. Trin Kien Kwan also bent down, tightly gripping my wrist, wanting me to let go. His voice was low and nasal, ringing in my ear. Tan Chi, so many people are looking. Don't cause trouble, okay? Do you want to see me lose all my honor and all my efforts over the years? Get up, let's talk properly. I'll listen to whatever you want. I turned my head to look at him. His eyes were full of calculation. There was no trace of the man who once made my heart flutter. I took several deep breaths to suppress my anger, slowly let go, and wiped away my tears. Chang Jianjun thought I had softened, and he sighed silently. But the next second I stood up, faced everyone and spoke loudly. "Hey, my name is Deep Tan Chi, not some maid but Chang Jianjun's legal wife." Everyone immediately agreed. "Trin Kien Kwan, I know you think I am ugly and rustic, not as beautiful as Tuesday Na. But please think of me without any resentment or regret, taking care of your old mother, risking my life to give birth to your child. Don't chase me and my child away, okay? You once said that after I gave birth, you would bring me and my child to live with you. But for 4 years you have not even set foot in your house. I don't blame you for breaking my child's life-saving medicine. As long as you save her now, I will forgive you for the past 4 years of ignoring me and my child." As soon as he finished speaking, the person who was about to present himself to the king immediately turned as pale as a sheet of paper. The surrounding atmosphere was deathly silent. All eyes were on him. Not only did I want to make Chang Jianjun lose all face and ruin his future, I also wanted Su Hui Na, that person who pretended to be gentle, to be criticized and despised by everyone. I turned to look at Su Hui Na, who was now so panicked that she didn't know where to hide her face. "To Tuesday Na, you have occupied my husband for 4 years. He has devoted all his tenderness and care to you and your child, while you secretly withheld my allowance. Every day you were given meat to eat and new clothes to wear, while my child and I had to dig up wild vegetables to survive and eat wild fruits to survive. We had no money to replace our torn shoes, and we were no different from beggars. My child and I also want to live a normal life. So now, can you return my husband to me and my child?" She pursed her lips, but could not utter a word of rebuttal. The people outside now almost understood the whole situation, and everyone's faces were filled with anger. How could this happen? Comrade Su Hui Na is not the official wife of Battalion Commander Cheng, so these past few days we have been calling her Battalion Commander's wife. How could she turn a blind eye and accept it as if it were true? Battalion Commander Cheng has always been serious. How could such a serious behavior problem occur? We must investigate. We must investigate and clarify, and give justice to Comrade Yi Qingji. Su Hui Na was so panicked that she covered her face and cried, while Chang Jianjun quickly regained his composure. "Comrades, please calm down and listen to my explanation. It is true that I am living with Comrade to Tuesday Na, but between us we are completely innocent. I swear to the party that I have never crossed the line of morality." She was the wife of my old comrade. Before he died, he asked me to take care of his wife, so I hid it from the unit and brought her along. I am willing to publicly reflect on this matter and accept any punishment from the organization. As soon as she finished speaking, everyone's faces began to change. Many eyes turned to pity for Tuesday Na. This status of a gentleman's wife always made people respect and pity her. Even the matter of the king abandoning his wife and children was gradually explained in a way that emphasized loyalty and loyalty. I saw that the situation was about to change in a direction of peace. How could I accept it? The state took care of the wives of noblemen and gave them their own benefits. How could she still brazenly take the military allowance that was sent to my mother and me? Does a gentleman's wife have the right to treat other people's lives as trash and do whatever she wants? In order to survive, my mother-in-law had to sell her blood, to the point of fainting. After that, I continued to drain her blood. I pulled up my sleeves and my mother-in-law's. The bruises and needle marks everywhere made everyone gasp. My mother-in-law covered her face and burst into tears. My son is critically ill. I couldn't even buy the life-saving medicine by selling my kidney. Yet the military commander reserved it for Tuesday Na's daughter. I was right to fight for it, because it was what should have belonged to my son. Yet, in order to protect that woman, he destroyed his son's last hope of survival. A responsible husband and father, could he drive his own wife and children to death for another woman? Or is he waiting for my children and me to die of hunger, disease, or cold, so that he can live a dignified life with her? Every word I said seemed to come from my heart, making everyone in the crowd moved, their eyes looking at me filled with pity. Only Trin Kien Kwan remained cold and indifferent, his eyes looking at me filled with resentment. Just then, someone in the crowd suddenly shouted loudly, "The chief has arrived." The moment he was about to present himself to the army, he immediately became extremely unsightly, but he still had to stand at attention with everyone else and present the ceremonial robes. The chief slowly walked in front of me. I immediately knelt down, tears streaming down my face. "Chief, I want to report Trin Kien Kwan for adultery during marriage, abandoning his wife and children, mistreating his biological mother, abusing his power, and seriously violating organizational discipline." Trin Kien Kwan immediately rushed over, intending to open his mouth to explain, but was shouted at by the chief. "Chung Jianjun, if you are present, just answer me one question honestly, Comrade Yi Qingji. Is she your legal wife?" Chung Jianjun recalled the moment he met his commander at the camp gate at dusk, his face pale. After a few seconds of hesitation, he gritted his teeth and said, "Yes." The chief looked disappointed, not looking at him again but turning to help me up. "Comrade Deep Tan Chi, I heard everything you said. Rest assured, we will investigate and clarify everything and strictly handle anyone who violates discipline." I choked up and nodded. "Chief, I have a personal request. Just say it. I want to divorce Chung Jianjun." Everyone looked at me with surprised eyes, because just now I was still clinging to Chung Jianjun like I was dying. Little did they know it was all just an act for me to expose the true faces of those two people, causing them to lose their reputation. He did not agree to the divorce. Trin Kien Kwan suddenly stood up, took my hand, his tone sincere. "Tan Chi, before I didn't know you suffered like that, I was a bastard. Now I understand. I want to make it up to you and your mother. I will arrange things properly for Tuesday Na. I won't let you wait any longer. Please give me a chance, okay?" In the previous life, when he came back to take care of the funeral, he discovered that Hu Na had embezzled the living expenses sent to me. That indirectly caused my mother to die of hunger, and my child to die of illness. As a result, he still ordered me to divorce him and marry Hu Na. In this life, the tragedy has not yet happened. Why did he suddenly change his mind and want to make it up to me and my child? I did not hesitate, immediately exposing his evil intentions. "Trin Kien Kwan, you refused to divorce just to regain some image in front of your comrades, but in front of your superior, you pretended to be honest to get a reduced sentence. I do not need such a fake marriage." Chung Jianjun glanced at his leader's expression and instinctively retorted, "No, Qing Chi, you misunderstood me." Seeing my determination, Chung Jianjun finally remembered that he still had a mother. "Mom, please help me persuade Tan Chi. Please give me a chance. I will definitely treat you too well." My mother-in-law cried and hit the military commander with a stick. It took her a long time before she spoke up, trembling. Mom, I support Tan Chi in divorcing me. She has become our daughter-in-law, but has not enjoyed a single day of happiness. Let her be free, consider it as atonement for yourself. She turned to me again, holding my hand tightly. Tan Chi, I'm sorry. I've made you suffer for so many years. Get a divorce, leave this unfilial child, and you will have a happier life. This old mother will pray for you every day. I couldn't help but hold her hand tightly. After the divorce, if she still wants to follow me, I will absolutely not abandon her. Only at this moment I could not say it. At that moment my son, who was lying obediently in my arms, suddenly had a violent convulsion. His eyes turned white. My heart felt like someone was squeezing it. I realized my child's illness had worsened. I panicked to the point that my limbs went limp and my voice trembled as I screamed, "Help my child! Please save my child!" The medical team following the chief immediately ran to help the child. It was a virus that was spreading rapidly recently. The child's situation was critical. The chief immediately gave orders. All households with small children had been given medicine to keep them safe. Any remaining families were to bring it immediately, with the nearest ones being given priority. Withdrawing his words, he turned to look at Chang Jianjun with a heavy gaze. Only then did Chang Jianjun completely believe that I had not lied. Our son was really in critical condition, and he had smashed the medicine bottle. It really could have saved the boy's life. Just when I was at my lowest, someone in the crowd shouted, "My family still has. Just downstairs. Come with me." I staggered after the medical team, desperately calling my son's name, trying to keep him awake. The soldier stood like a statue in the middle of the yard, his face as white as paper, and finally a trace of regret appeared in his eyes. My son's condition was so serious that after taking antiviral drugs, he was immediately transferred to the emergency room. I stayed by his bedside day and night, not daring to leave him for even a moment, not daring to be negligent. Fortunately, God did not cut off his way to life. My son overcame the danger and regained his life. During those days, Trin Qian Quan went crazy, using the excuse of visiting his son to repeatedly go to the hospital. He brought a lunchbox full of meat, and the savings he had deposited with to Tuesday Na, apologizing and repenting. But every time I closed the door to the hospital room, not letting him in, not accepting any money, nor touching any of the meat he brought. When he knelt before me again, begging me to give him a chance to make up for it, I agreed. But on the condition that he had to completely cut ties with to Tuesday Na, and never see her again for the rest of his life. Tuesday Na was his fatal weakness. That sentence made him so angry that he couldn't stand it anymore. Tan Chi, what do you want? Do you really want to push her to the end? Why can't you be a little more generous? Tuesday Na and I really have nothing. He was just doing his duty, taking care of her a little. Could she bear to see them being bullied? To see him become an ungrateful, heartless person? I laughed, I knew, but he couldn't do it. What can't act anymore? If he asked, I would have said it straight, I couldn't bear to. I can bear it 100 times. And you, Chang Jianjun, weren't you already a traitor 4 years ago? You're afraid that people will bully her. But what about me and your mother? We work hard all day long, but we only get paid as one person. People call your son a bastard. Where are you? I have to compete with men in the market to make a living, and they even harass me while you live a comfortable life in the barracks serving that mother and son. Have you ever thought about me being bullied? Trin Qian Quan, you really have an incorrigible nature. I will never forgive you. Go away. The farther away the better. Trin Qian Quan stood outside the hospital room all night, repeating the words, "I'm sorry," over and over again. The doctor didn't chase him away, and his mother didn't listen when she called him. The next day, the Russian group cried and said that her daughter was also infected with the virus, and he immediately turned around and ran away. He ran back to the barracks and knocked on every door begging for antiviral drugs, but no one wanted to help. Everyone had seen their true colors. In the end, he had to go to his boss and beg. The boss didn't say anything, just quietly handed him a divorce application. It clearly stated that whether he continued to work in the army or not, he would have to transfer half of his allowance to me and the child every month, until Din turned 18. The chief did not say much, but Trin Qian Quan understood very well. Because he wanted to get medicine for his daughter, Toi Na, he had to reluctantly sign the form. On the day Din was discharged from the hospital, The chief personally sent someone to supervise us to the divorce office. He also arranged a new place to live and a new job for me. I used to be a nurse and knew how to do some basic care work. They took me to a retirement home for retired officials, where the nurse worked with the doctor to do the daily health checkups. Stable job, a place to live, and convenient for taking care of the children. Life like that, I was happy even in my dreams. My mother-in-law still had a grudge against Trin Kien Kwan and to Tuesday Na. Every day she chased after those two with a stick and beat them up several times. She really transformed into a cruel mother-in-law, trying every way to make Tuesday Na lose face and live a miserable life. Very quickly after that, the results of the military investigation were also announced. What Trin Kien Kwan could not have expected was that Tuesday Na was not the wife of any of his comrades. Trin Kien Kwan's comrade was indeed posthumously awarded the title of martyr, but his wife was someone else, a woman who was taken care of by the state and received proper benefits. As for Tuesday Na, she was just a neighbor of the real martyr's wife. She had no reputation, and lived off of seducing rich men to cling to. Before she came to the court, she had just clung to a rich merchant but was beaten to death by his first wife. Then when she discovered she was pregnant, she panicked. For someone like her, being pregnant without a husband was an unbearable shame. Accidentally learning that Chung Jianjun was looking for his comrade's wife, she impersonated him and followed him into the barracks, successfully giving birth to a child. As for Chung Jianjun, he was not as innocent as he said. The military inspector discovered that he had secretly bought a small villa outside. Condoms and personal belongings were also found in the house, which was clearly his private residence with Tuesday Na. As a result, Trin Kien Kwan not only lost his chance of promotion, but was also expelled from the army, meaning he lost all his benefits. Even the villa was divided to me. From a respected captain, Trin Kien Kwan fell straight to the bottom, becoming penniless with nothing left. He could not bear this shock, and began to vent all his anger on Tuesday Na, beating and cursing her non-stop. He called her trash, a promiscuous woman, the one who had destroyed his love, family and career. As for Tuesday Na, she didn't even bother pretending anymore. She smoked, drank and gambled. In a few days, she had spent all the money left over from Trin Kien Kwan. She cursed him as stupid, useless and fake, saying he deserved it and brought it on himself. Only then did Trin Kien Kwan wake up and see the true nature of the woman he once treated like a treasure, cruel and heartless, causing her to suffer to the bone. Then he used the most cruel methods to torture Tuesday Na, making her life worse than death. Knowing that those two people would eventually become enemies, I immediately welcomed my mother-in-law to live with me. Mother-in-law cried while eating, unable to believe what had happened. I gave her a piece of meat and smiled, saying, "Mom, eat more, take care of your health and help me look after the children in the future." She nodded continuously. "Okay, I listen to you, whatever you say I will listen." I asked again, "Mom, I want to change Dindang's last name, do you have any opinions?" She shook her head vigorously. "No, I'll listen to you." After that, we almost never heard any more news about Trin Kien Kwan and Tuesday Na. Only a couple of days a month, the military commander would wait downstairs in my house. He was frail, his eyes lifeless, full of exhaustion and defeat. I raised my eyebrows and looked at him with annoyance. "You still have no shame. Can you not appear in front of me and my children anymore? No one wants to see you." Trin Kien Kwan raised his hand, intending to touch my face, but I quickly avoided it. After a period of rest, I was no longer as skinny and haggard as before. My face was also bright, smooth, and youthful as if I had gone back 10 years. That change made the military commander's face fall apart. "Tan Chi, I've returned to my hometown, and my old house has collapsed. I no longer have a home. Those who once tried to rape you and your mother have all received their retribution. Tan Chi, I'm sorry. This time I really know I was wrong. Can you, out of pity for me, give me a chance? I promise I will completely cut ties with Tuesday Na, and will never see her again in this life." I just laughed coldly. "Trin Kien Kwan, I once had a dream. I dreamed that I had to go to the city to sell my kidney to save his son. But when I returned, I discovered that his mother had been killed by a wild boar, and his son had died of illness. He rushed home to take care of the funeral, knowing that they died because they had no money. But there was no money because Tuesday Na had taken the living allowance he sent to me and my child. However, he still insisted on divorcing me to marry her. I struggled in pain every day, while the two of them lived in a small villa, safe and well off, and then gave birth to a healthy chubby son. I hate you to the core, Trin Kien Kwan. Trin Kien Kwan, from the beginning you didn't give me any fairness, so why are you demanding that I be fair to you now? Your apology today is only because you discovered that I'm the only one who is sincere with you. You feel sorry for me and angry. If you don't want me to continue hating you, then don't ever appear before me and my son again. My son pointed at the military commander, pursed his lips and whispered, "No need for dad." Din Dang no longer needed his father. Trin Kien Kwan was stunned. 2 lines of tears silently flowed down. He covered his face, painfully knelt down on the ground, crying like a lost soul. Later, the neighbors reported to the police. They discovered Tuesday Na's body in Trin Kien Kwan's rented room. The body had begun to decompose. According to the forensic examination, she had suffered inhuman torture before her death. She died in fear and extreme pain. When she was arrested, Trin Kien Kwan was trying to escape abroad through the border. The person who carried out the capture was his old comrade who had gone through life and death with him. Unable to bear the humiliation, he bit off an artery in his wrist and committed suicide on the way to be escorted, before being sent back to his country. When I heard that news, I didn't have much emotion. The mother-in-law just let out a soft sigh, then took her grandchild down to the yard for a walk. The sufferings of the past were over. Our good life had finally begun. In this life I will definitely live happily, with my loved ones and peacefully spend the rest of my life. That's the end of the story. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more interesting stories. Goodbye and see you again.